let's go look at the fall front porch. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to Horticulture Geek. I'm Ray, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Well, here it is. October is fully upon us. I am getting this video out a little bit late, but it's time. I wanted to show you guys the fall front porch and show you what we've done this year for our fall display. And I also wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you, my viewers, because this year we were able to pay for our fall pumpkins and gourds and mums and all that fun stuff with our YouTube revenue. So you made this fall display possible for us this year by watching our videos, watching those ads, and helping us get income here at the garden. So I appreciate it so much. Now you can tell right now we're in the back garden on the patio, and if you've watched my videos before, you know that's because we live on a busy street and the traffic noise on that street is a bit much. So it's hard to film out there, and so I don't do very many films out in the front garden. But today I'm going to show you what we've got. I'll do my best, so you will probably hear car noise going back and forth, but just bear with me and I'm sure you'll enjoy the fall display. So without further ado and any more talking from me, I'm going to flip the camera around and let's go out to the front garden and look at the fall display. All right, guys, here we are at the front yard for the fall display. So let's start right here. So Mrs. Horticulture Geek just found a funds flag that she put there. And then we picked up this awesome pinkish purple mum. It's huge, in a fun metal galvanized container to put next to the mailbox. And then we can come right in. Now you see I've left sun patience here. These have been here all summer long. I never did a fall tour of this flower bed because this flower bed, I've got one dahlia left here. Both of these flower beds were full of dahlias this summer. They were just a cheap bag of dahlias that I picked up at Sam's Club. I didn't pinch them back. I didn't properly stake them. They flopped over all summer long. So it just never was a grand show. The flowers were beautiful. Mrs. Horticulture Geek cut them all summer long. We used them in flower arrangements in the house, but it was just never grand, so I just never bothered showing it. But I left one dahlia there because he wasn't in the way, and I left the two sun patience. And now right behind this sun patience, you can see our wooden pumpkins that we made. If you have not seen that video, if you're interested in making your own wooden pumpkins, I will put a link to it on the screen right about in there somewhere. So click on that link and you can watch that video. Just wait for the traffic. Or, you know, at the end of this video, if you want, you can go and check that video out as well. So I've got our wooden pumpkins, wonderful space filler, wonderful pop of color. Next to that, I have a purple fountain grass in a pot, and that is just a fun, crusty, beat up old pot. I've actually picked that pot and its match up, which it's tucked in here somewhere, at Cracker Barrel. Then I've got a white pumpkin, an orange pumpkin, and a little yellow gourd, some sunflowers, then a beautiful yellow mum. Now this yellow mum is just a plop and drop. So what that means is that is still in the plastic nursery pot that I bought it in. I literally just dug a small hole in the ground and sunk it in, and it's fine there. It's perfect there. And then that way it gives me a height without having to worry about another pot, basket, or container, and it fills that space. And then we've got a mum behind it. That is in an orange basket, and another pumpkin and gourd there. Then I have the little orange containers that we potted up in a video a while back. You can go check out that fall pot up video. And we've got our little autumn greeting picket fence. I did build this as well. Exact same wood that we use in our pumpkins, just cheap, inexpensive wood, cut very haphazardly. You can see the points don't match, they're not level, they're not equal. It's not supposed to be. It's just very haphazard and fun and whimsical. And we stained the whole thing orange And we have some like fake autumn leaves in it, just for some interest here in the garden. And a fun metal pumpkin that we have there. And then this big metal pumpkin. And then here we have our big metal container that we potted up a while back with our grass and pansies. And this is a Color Blaze Coleus. I forget the exact variety name of this one, but it has been here all summer in this pot with the ivy. And it did have some pentas in there with it. So I pulled the pentas out and put a pumpkin in, and then these are good to go. And I did choose this Coleus intentionally because it was beautiful up here all summer long, and now it is beautiful and perfect for fall. So if you have an opportunity to do that in your gardens, choose something that has a fall look that when paired with other things won't scream fall to you necessarily all through the summer. But when fall comes, you have this huge, beautiful plant that's ready to go for fall. And when paired with other fall things, it does scream fall. And I love it, love it, love it. And these Coleuses actually got massive this summer. The Color Blaze series does do that. I have trimmed these back and pinched these back multiple times this year. So they are a lot smaller than they would normally like to be. And then you can see just an assortment of gourds and pumpkins up the steps with our lanterns. Ooh, there's our welcome sign there. And we just carry back around. So we've already talked about this pot. And then there's our other metal container with grass. We have a white mum here. Our hay bales, more pumpkins and gourds, the other orange pot. There's our other Cracker Barrel planter with another purple fountain grass. And some more metal pumpkins in the hay bales. All right, but that's not all. We do have some interest out on the sides. So let's go look over here. So in our large urns in front, I have a large urn on either side of the house. We have just a simple mum, pumpkin, and scarecrow. And then out here on the edge of the flower bed, we have the blue pot we potted up for fall a while back. This was the first fall plant up we did. So you can go back and check out that video. And these have done exactly what I wanted to do. I planted these several weeks ago with small 3-inch pots, and I put ample fertilizer and biotone in them. And I said, I want these to grow up and get big for when they get ready to go into the front yard for fall. And they certainly have done that. So I've got an Osaka red cabbage, a Carax grass, Swiss chard, and then a celosia, a purple celosia. So it's just beautiful. And then a metal pumpkin there as well. And this flower bed, don't look too closely at the flower bed. I had a massive drift of zinnias planted here. And then these other things were tucked in behind the zinnias. So I had to pull, the zinnias were looking tired and weary, so we pulled all those out. And this area needs a fresh layer of mulch desperately, which we will get to soon. And then down here you can see our wall pots. We did an update video on that. And for these containers, I have not switched the big containers out yet, but I did go ahead and pop pumpkins in them just to give a splash of fall color back there. All right, and then the last thing we'll do is we'll go look at the pot on the other side of the front yard here. So here we go with our other urn, mum, and pumpkin, and the other scarecrow. And then here we have our other blue pot and another metal pumpkin. And you can see this one did have zinnias around it as well, which got pulled out. This flower bed tended to do a little better with the other stuff that was planted in amongst the zinnias. So I left most of it because it just looked pretty still. So there is that. So here is the Horticulture Geek Fall Garden Display. So here we are on the back porch at my potting bench, and you can see I've got some white mums, I've got some Osaka white cabbages, some ornamental kales, some pansies still. So we've got some work still to do here at the garden. Fall's not over yet. I still have planting to do. And then let's swing around here. Ignore the mess, guys. My potting area's a bit jumbled at the moment. I still have some pretty stuff in the garden. But I did want to point out over here at the patio where we started out, do a little update here on our fall zinnias that we planted in our Magnolia Market concrete pots. They are doing great. They are multiplying. They're budding up. I mean, they're just looking fantastic. So I'm very much enjoying these. And then here I have a mum, and you can see some flip-flops. Let's kick those out of the way. Now this is a mum, obviously, that I keep from year to year in this pot. And I did pinch this back once this summer, but I forgot to do it twice. Typically, you do want to prune or pinch back your mums at least twice to keep them tight and compact for a traditional mum look. I was not necessarily worried about a traditional mum look back here, but I really should have pinched this back more so it would be more compact and tight. But I think it's still beautiful. It looks good spilling out of this pot and filling up this space. And I mean, that ruby red color, you just can't beat it. I do not know the variety of this mum. I've had this thing for 3 years now, and I don't have the tag anymore. There's some Nicotiana poking up amongst it. So there's actually a Nicotiana bloom coming right there. So there's that little pot. So we have some pot back here, some fall, We have some fall color back here in the garden as well. Oh gosh, and while I'm here, let's just admire this pot for a second. So this is a red canna lily with some pink geraniums underneath. So it's really just showing out right now. It's loving this fall weather. So guys, there is the fall display for 2020 here at the Horticulture Geek Garden. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Maybe it has inspired you to do something. Try those pumpkins, try that little picket fence, try something different. Remember, you don't have to stick to just mums and pumpkins. You can, like I said, do wooden stuff, metal stuff, fun stuff. We like to mix and match, as you can see. We do a variety of things here at our house, at our garden. And so we just hope you've enjoyed this video and you've taken some inspiration from it. We would love to see your fall displays in your gardens. So you can tag us in your photos, either here on YouTube or at Facebook. Give us some pictures. Tag us in Facebook at our Horticulture Geek page. Let us see your fall displays if you've got something going. But until next time, guys, like I said, we hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't hit the subscribe or like button yet for some reason, I don't know what you're waiting on, because it's a pretty great channel if I do say so myself. Just go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, from my garden to yours, I wish you all the best and happy gardening.